Okay, everyone, we'll go ahead and get started here with Xander Schauffele here at the Farmers Insurance Open. Xander, I think let's start with last week. Finishing tied for third at the American Express. I guess how encouraging was that for you after having to withdraw from Century and posting a good result there?
Yeah, it's very encouraging. It was a new. I feel like I'm a veteran out here, but it was a new situation. Being my first pretty much withdrawal. I think my first withdrawal in my entire career. So. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see, my team came together to help me out, to get me back into, quick playing shape, got all the scans done, nothing too serious came up. So feeling very fortunate. And yeah, it's kind of weird to be really happy with a third place finish, but with a 10 under on Sunday, pretty happy with it.
Perfect. I'm sure you'll take another albatross again here this week.
Yes, I would.
But then, obviously coming to a place here that you're very comfortable at, just talk a little bit about, getting the opportunity to play here and, a place where you've had a lot of experience.
Yeah, I have played a lot here. I haven't played, like great, I'd say. I've had a couple, a high finish here, played well at the U.S. Open. But for the most part, still kind of figuring it out. But the course is in great condition. The weather was really bad leading into this week, which, I kind of had a feeling it was going to be a nice week for weather, and the rough is up thick. So never had so much anxiety trying to hit a fairway. But it's playing really tough, which is sort of, I think, what everyone wants when you play this tournament.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and just jump right into questions. If you just raise your hand, we'll get a microphone over to you. We'll just start right here and then over to Todd.
Xander, how is the back now? Is it completely good, or where are you at?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's, I'm always going to feel like I'm 100%. It's probably a little tired. Didn't do a whole lot of golf, since Maui. Even leading up, I had that little hiccup at Bahamas is kind of where the whole back thing started. And then Maui was unfortunate, one of my favorite spots of the year. And then just not a whole lot of golf. So I feel great, but, if I had to, feel like, I was swinging as hard as I could off every tee, I'd probably get pretty tired soon. So it's just like a golf thing, You start playing more golf, you start walking around, you start swinging more, you'll get in the swing of things.
Yeah. So what is the injury itself? And you said it kind of came up at Bahamas.
Just muscular. It was just a tight spot there. My team was really quick to, diagnose it, assess the scans and, the MRIs, get the right eyes on it. It's way out of my league or expertise. So, it's kind of weird when some people, people tell you you're good to go, and you kind of just have to say, all right, I'm good to go. So that happened pretty quickly, which I was really happy about.
When you see last week, no rough, this week you got whatever, how many inches?
Yes.
Any concern about it at all as far as?
No, I already took my fair share of wax out of the rough in the last 2 days, so I'm beyond fine.
The Saturday finish, we had it last year. You were here. Is it a little odd, like in your week of preparation and all of that, to kind of have the Saturday finish and have to change a little bit of mentality of when you start your week and all that?
I forgot it was a Saturday finish last year. I thought this was the first year, so clearly it didn't bother me a whole lot. I think everyone's dealing with it. If you didn't play last week, then you can kind of get normal preparation come in on Sunday. Obvious reasons for us doing it. It makes perfect sense with Sunday being a big day for football. So yeah, I think it's totally fine. As I get a little bit older, it's kind of nicer to just get through preparation, get going. When you go to those majors, sometimes you show up 4 or 5 days early, and guys kind of wear themselves out before the tournament starts, and it is nice to kind of have a 1-2 punch and then just tee off.
JT and Ron talked today about kind of shaping the ball here, kind of a left to right ball flight. You agree with that?
Yeah. Yes.
And how important is it?
Very. John's obviously a very good example of someone that probably shapes it the best left to right off the tee, the furthest and the best. So he's played all right here, I think. And he's in decent form, I'd say. So JT's, also a very good left to right. Shapes it both ways for the most part, but favors left to right. So I think before the U.S. Open, I really tried to hit a lot of left to right tee balls, and it did help me that week to hit more fairways. It's weird because their fairways line up very sort of straight. The holes are kind of rather straight on the north course, and then the holes frame a little differently on the south, but for the most part, you know, the wind's always coming off the coast, and some of those really hard tee shots, you kind of want to ride the wind instead of fighting it. And if you can get your left to right ball down, it's definitely a good week for it.
Has it fit your eye, this golf course, in the past?
I mean, I naturally draw the ball for the most part. I'm really happy when I can fade it. So, you know, I just enjoy playing it. I enjoy the challenge. It's so hard, you know. Like I said, you get pretty anxious on some of those tees when you're hitting the rough on like 7 holes in a row, and you're, you know, 2 over par. You're like, I'm doing all right. So, and then, you know, you hit in every fairway and you hit on every green and you miss every putt. That can also happen. So it's just one of those weeks. You just got to wear it out mentally and just be better than everyone else mentally.
All right, we're just gonna go right back here. Then over to Tom.
Hi, Xander. Do you surf?
I wish. I got really good at golf kind of later in my career here, and I think it's because I wasn't surfing earlier in my career because I was just golfing all the time. So it's a tricky one, you know. I think maybe when I like stop playing so much golf, I'll try and pick up surfing because it just seems like something that I'd enjoy doing.
Bear with me on the random questions. So I had a chance to interview Hanson Surfboard, who makes the trophy surfboard for the Farmers Insurance Open. You would be the first true San Diegan, if you won, to get the surfboard and could potentially just put it in your car and take it home as opposed to having it shipped somewhere. What would winning a trophy surfboard, being from San Diego, with a local company on it and a local surf shaper making this custom board for you, what would that mean?
That is a question that's out there.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize. It would just be a cherry on top, you know, being from here and getting like a homemade prize and being able to put it in my own car and drive away with it, you know, 20 minutes to my house would be amazing. So I'm not going to let my brain travel too far to that point, but it'd be obviously just a cherry on top.
Obviously, you are busy with golf, but if you won, would you potentially ever pick up this board? Because it's actually functional and you can actually surf with it.
Yeah, like I said, I golf. These guys are so good now. I'm 29, and there's so many young kids out here winning majors and doing crazy things on tour that I feel like I need to up my practice and up my game. So I feel like if I started surfing, I would start playing worse golf immediately. Maybe not, but I feel like that would probably happen just with all the young guys coming out and just running and gunning. So I'll stick to golf and just my one sport for now.
And just your final thoughts on just having a surfboard as a trophy.
It's cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome, especially if you can use it.
Thanks.
Todd, right here.
Hey, Xander, as the PGA tournament kind of designates and elevates some events, and there's some fluidity year to year, how important is it to you as a San Diego golfer to have the Farmers or whatever events here at Torrey be one of those elevated events?
I mean, there's so many things that go into, you know, making a tournament an elevated event with the sponsor, with the parking, the golf course, if it can support it. It'd be amazing. You know, I think it was in the talks for a little bit. Obviously, this course being owned by the city, you know, the city's involved with it. You know, it's not just like a bunch of members, so that makes it a little trickier. But I think it'd be great for the town, great for the city here, and it would really be cool. And I mean, it already draws a really good field for not being an elevated event. I think it would just draw even more top players.
Is there anything players on tour like you and Charlie can do to get an event elevated? I know it's much bigger than that, but is there any behind-the-scenes networking or anything that you can do to kind of impact that?
I mean, we're just the entertainment, you know. There's only so much we can do, or think we can do at least. I try to stay in my lane a lot of those times. Let the bigger boys, adults as I call them, you know, try and handle the bigger situations. And as long as I can provide some good entertainment along the way, we're in good hands.
Okay, time for maybe one or two more right here.
You know, just talk about how special it is getting to play on your hometown course, playing in front of your friends and family. Just really describe all what that means to you.
Yeah, it's you know, being on tour, it felt home games are tricky. You know, trickier because you are in front of fans. As I get older, as I come here more often, I start to feel more comfortable. Sleeping in your own bed is amazing. It's kind of the thing us pros cherish a lot. As you've been on the road, you get deja vu looking at the same hotels and areas and fast food joints and things of that nature. So just being in a familiar place, seeing familiar faces really hits home, and I think that's why everyone always enjoys, you know, being at home.
Do you have any favorite memories that stick out to you from this course?
I mean, I just remember coming out leaving high school early to come out and play matches at 3 p.m., rushing to finish 9 holes. It was from the white tees. The rough was down. Greens are usually punched, so it wasn't the same experience or monster that it is right now. But, yeah, just feeling really lucky, just like a true San Diego kid, just leaving school early to go play golf. If it's not surfing, you're golfing or doing something outdoors, and that's kind of awesome.
What impact did maybe the golf community in San Diego kind of impact your career? Like, how did that impact your life and career just growing up out here with the caliber of talent out here?
Yeah, just a lot of big names to follow. There's been a few guys still playing out from San Diego. A few guys on the Champions Tour from California, not San Diego specifically anymore, but it's just a lot of big players out there and big shoes to fill, and just try and be as good as them or beat their records, and just try and do more for the community or do as much as they have done. You know what I mean? They've done a lot to help all the youth golfers here, and it's just a sunny state where everyone's pretty happy for the most part.
Are there any challenges or anything specifically you're looking out for this week?
The rough, yeah, pretty much it. Every tee shot's pretty intense, so you kind of know what you're dealing with if you miss the fairway, and that's kind of it for everyone that's playing.
All right, we're just going to go last one right here, guys.
Hey, Xander, does being back home put you more at ease to do well here, or are there some distractions you might describe being back home that maybe make things more challenging?
I think as I've gotten older, it's gotten better. Maybe a little more distracting at first, more nerves. I always really wanted to play well in front of everybody. I just don't care as much as when I was younger, I think. I kind of just have become more selfish and kind of worry about what I do. Not that I don't care about the people, I'm not worried about what other people are thinking as much as when I was a younger kid. So I think I'm a little bit more at ease and not so result-oriented as when I first, got my sponsor's exemption out here, my first couple starts, and that's probably helped me play a little bit better out here.
When you got back into town, was there anything in particular you wanted to make sure and go do?
Well, recently, just get a good night of sleep, which has been a task, I can tell you. But haven't hit up any of the local food spots recently. Just trying to get in my new house here. It's been a long time coming, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Why is it a task to get a good night's sleep?
Oh, just when you're moving, people always joke about when you're doing homes or remodeling a house or doing things like that. There's always, it takes your mind off of golf, but it puts your focus somewhere else, and it's usually a golfer's nightmare. And I'm dealing with that and trying to perform at a high level too. So I'm ready for Wednesday to come.
Were there any disruptions with the new house? The burglar alarm accidentally going off or anything like that?
Crazy stuff always happens. You know how it goes.
All right, Xander, thanks for the time. Have a
Cool.
good week.
Thank you.